Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to start something a little different and begin a new series where I watch movies that I've never seen before and give my review on them. For a little background, for those of you who couldn't tell or didn't know already, I love film. And I only really started this channel to study, discuss, and celebrate filmmaking as a whole. As someone who really appreciates the art form of filmmaking and understands the struggle behind it, I'm never really one that tries to talk down about movies, although there will definitely be times where I'm gonna have to review some stinkers. As someone who always wants to expand their taste in film, I was curiously looking through the magazine aisle at Barnes & Noble when I came across this. Total Film's 500 must-see movies. And when a company's called Total Films, don't you just trust them? Because Total Films, come on. The book is divided into 5 categories: comedy, action, thriller, horror, and sci-fi. So to unbiasedly watch these films, I opened 2 different spinner websites on my computer and let fate decide what I'll be watching first. And for our first episode, the spinner chose thriller, number 66. We'll be reviewing Alfred Hitchcock's 1946 film Notorious, starring Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman. For a little background on the story, it's about the daughter of an American traitor and German spy, Ingrid Bergman's Alicia Huberman, who is approached by government agent T.R. Devlin, portrayed by Cary Grant. He tells her to go undercover and work for the U.S. government as a double agent by gaining the trust of Nazis while in hiding in Brazil. This double life proves to be taxing on Huberman as she and Devlin start a slight romance before even finding out what the initial plan is going to be. Now, if you really want to watch this movie and this plot seems interesting to you, or if you want to watch it before getting into this review, which you don't have to. I know black and white movies aren't for everyone, but expand your taste, why not? Now, if you want to watch this is actually on YouTube, and I'll be linking it in the description below. But, expand your taste, give it a try, skim through it. It's free, watch it anytime. But if you don't want to watch it and just want to see this review, maybe by the end of it you'll be interested in the story. So let's get into it. After watching a handful of Hitchcock's classics, there's a constant that I noticed that happens throughout many of his films, and that's the very complicated romances that arise. Oftentimes one character treats the other very coldly or leaves them in the dark about how they really feel, and much of that has to do with the plots and everything that's separating them, and oftentimes at the end things realign and it's kind of a happy ending. That's no different in Notorious. Cary Grant's Devlin falls for Alicia Huberman, played by Ingrid Bergman, who is very carefree and strong-willed. After they first meet, he punches her in the face, and it's just love at first sight from there. The two start an unlikely romance that is quickly shut down due to the real circumstances that they're in, and Devlin is very protective about his feelings. He never opens up about how he truly feels, not towards his fellow government agents and not even towards Alicia herself. Shout out masculinity in the 1940s. Overall though, I really enjoyed the story, although a bit melodramatic, as many noir films from the 40s and 50s are. This one really stands out because of the performances of Grant and Bergman. They're really what sold me on the film. Although their romance is sparse and I feel like they kind of hated each other, it really worked in the context of the story. Hitchcock, being the master of suspense that he is well known to be, really captures the uneasiness in one very particular scene. Since Alicia is really a double agent and is pretending to be the wife of Nazi scientist Alex Sebastian, played really well by Claude Rains, we'll get into that later, she's able to gain his trust, but must steal a key from him that unlocks the wine cellar, the only room that she doesn't have access to. In order to go through the plan, she must set up a party which would give her the only opportunity to access the cellar. However, this plan isn't easy, as the party is packed, Alicia must play host, and she has to coordinate everything with Devlin. All the while, Sebastian watches over her like a hawk. All these factors make for a really great suspense, and it continues to build until the conclusion of the scene, in which Alicia and Devlin seemingly get away with their plan. Unknowing to them, Sebastian knows the key has been taken and eventually finds out that he has been double-crossed and is getting cucked by Cary Grant. Womp womp. This leads me to talk about another great scene in which Sebastian and his mother devise a plan to slowly poison Alicia, as not to raise suspicion both from authorities as well as his fellow Nazi friends. But the smart and very underestimated Alicia eventually catches on to what's happening to her, but by the time she realizes it, it's a bit too late, as she's already been poisoned very heavily. After this scene though, the movie wraps up pretty abruptly. I'd say a little too cleanly for my liking. A very Hollywood happy ending that I'm personally not a big fan of. I just don't really like when a movie wraps everything neatly in a bow. I like when there's some things left on the table, things that you're not really too happy with, but that's just something that I'm personally not a fan of. Overall, a really great work on the side of building suspense. And technically, like, every aspect of this movie is great. There's some really creative use of rear projection, as Hitchcock endorses drunk driving. A really great standout to me was the cinematography by DP, don't know his name, Ted Tetzloff. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Really good use of framing overall, with the beautiful close-ups of the main actors, because if you got Cary Grant and you got Ingrid Bergman in your movie, just put the camera in their face and let them talk. You'll get sucked into the story. There's also a couple of really creative shots that I really love in this movie. One in particular would be this really wide shot of the party where the camera pans, you look through the entire party, and in the very dead center of the frame you see Alicia, and the camera just cranes in and zooms all the way into what's in her hand, which is a key item, no pun intended. Another shot that was really impressive to me was the scene where Alicia gets poisoned, and we get a point of view shot of her looking at the other characters, and her world is slowly getting out of focus. They become silhouetted, and then it really just starts getting really dizzying effect that I really enjoyed. Honestly, one of my favorite aspects of the movie. Overall, I really enjoyed Notorious. The only thing I didn't really like was just how quickly the movie wraps up. Other than that, the movie's great. 4 stars. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be continuing to do this series whether you watch it or not, so why not subscribe, why not like, why not comment? And if you have any other suggestions of series I can do or other movies that you want me to review, please leave that in the comment section, and follow my Letterboxd. I spent $40. I'm a patron. Please. Thanks for watching.